All right. So today we're going to focus on policy enforcement inside the pipeline. So there's another video that really talks about policies. What are they? What kinds of stuff can you monitor for? And that's really going in here. Um, we could take a look at those in a different video, but we're assuming that you're either A, using one of these out of the box policies here. So anything in this kind of pipeline. Um, or you have your own set of custom policies that you're enforcing specific to your organization. So when we talk about really incorporating this into something like a pipeline, I'm using GitLab here as an example. So we could go and take a look at that. I want to open up just the script that we're using here. So here you can see what we're doing. So we basically submit this image for analysis. We've stored uh, our three variables inside of GitLab. So our Anchore URL, our username and password, and all that it's doing is authenticating to the Anchore Enterprise API and then submitting the image for analysis. And what we have here is just part of our script that says, pull the Anchor evaluation for that specific image, meaning pull that policy evaluation. And if that fails, please populate please populate the log output with the full JSON evaluation detail. So what that does, from a developer perspective, is really put that data back in your hands. So you don't have to wait to get that feedback. You don't have to log into Anchor to say, why did I fail this? You could get that right here, right? So in your job output, you're going to have specific instructions, right, of what you failed. So here you'll see some common things like some NIST 853 controls, which are related to the policy check that we do. So this one right here, we can pop this open. So we have stuff against image drift. So looking how an image changes over time. We're checking for known exploited vulnerabilities, network exposure checks, making sure you're pulling from an authorized base registry and things like that, which is what we see that we're failing here, right? We're not pulling from that authorized registry. We don't have a health check in here. Some of these things are like a health check, right? It's a little bit it's a requirement and a guideline, but in terms of security, right, there's a lot more pressing misconfigurations that can take place. But again, we aim to go to provide policy according to the guidelines that are set by DISA and NIST, right? So a lot of stuff here related around vulnerabilities, looking at what packages are out of compliance. So what packages is this branch in this image using that are out of compliance here. So you'll get a lot of feedback here from Anchor. What files have incorrect permissions set on them, or inappropriate permissions that may need to be looked at again. So there's stuff there. There's all sorts of stuff that you get fed back in this job output. So going back again to configure that in your pipeline, all you have to do is declare that within your GitLab CI.yaml file, right? So we set that as a variable up here to fail on policy. And what that does is it says, if I interpret, a failed result from that image, we could go take a look at that, pull that up. If I interpret that failed result from this image, then I'm going to stop that pipeline to prevent it from moving further into that process, whether it's going to a registry or maybe it's going to, a production cluster or something like that, right? So to protect it from getting further in that process. So that's at a high level what we're looking at here in terms of baking this into GitLab and making policy enforcement a critical part of your pipelines to help you protect the software supply chain within your organization.